Welcome to All Nature Connected, a podcast created by the Forest Bathing Institute, where we explore all nature connected topics, including nature and health, nature inspired lifestyle, nature connection and forest bathing, nature preservation, and eco awareness. We hope that this podcast will inspire you to become more connected with nature and your own health and well-being. Hello everyone, this is Olga, and here we have Caroline Evans with us. And hello, Caroline. And today we will be talking a little bit more about interesting things, including lifestyle, including holistic ways to boost your health and well-being, and also a very interesting and unique journey that we have here, Caroline, connecting with nature. So Caroline, rather than me saying a lot of things about you, would you like to just introduce yourself and maybe say where you are currently at and what you are doing? What's your kind of holistic practice at the moment?
Thanks, Olga. Lovely to be here. I am currently situated in the UK. I am in Frome in Somerset, specifically right now. My practice is I'm a herbalist, naturopath, and nutrition consultant. So I'm a holistic practitioner because that is how I work. Is I look at the whole person. So if somebody comes to me with herpes, or if they come to me with a common cold, or they come to me with menopause, it makes no difference. I'm looking at the whole picture of what's going on with that person and how we can get the organs to work better and to get them more in tune with nature. And I know that's our we both really appreciate this, that we both understand the healing aspects of nature. So yeah, that's what I do. I very much teach people one-on-one. And we do a lot of that in person in Frome, but also I do a lot nowadays online. It's kind of like we're taking nature online because then we can get to more people. And to be honest, we've all got a little bit of nature outside, whether that be like the one stone in the middle of Dubai, or whether you've got a forest next to you. So yeah, in every way possible to educate people about nature is what I do.
It's wonderful. And actually, Caroline, I can see in the background, we spoke a little bit more about it. It's amazing to see that you are really hands-on. You have so many tinctures, which I love and I use, and I think they're amazing and very potent. And yeah, I know you do workshops, but I know that for many people nowadays, sometimes traveling is a bit difficult, or maybe they're not available at the times when they are doing courses. So having things online, I think that's a very big part of empowerment of people, when you actually teach them how to find herbs, how to look for them where they are, and other aspects. So maybe you can talk a little bit more about that and what people normally, how you would teach people, what you would tell them in your workshops about herbs or other natural remedies.
Absolutely. That is my greatest passion, is giving people the tools that they need to do it themselves, because I really think that's the revolution that we need to promote. It's not all about come and see me and only when you see me do you get the information. It's like, no, I can teach you and then off you go. I'm a guide. So one of the ways that I guide people, and you're right, things are going online these days, and we have to infiltrate this to be able to the mycelium. We have to be like the mycelium, and the World Wide Web is a great way for us to infiltrate, just like the mushroom mycelium is doing it on the ground. And so one of the ways I do this is I have this membership called Build Your Herbal Medicine Chest. And in that, I talk people through like 1 to 2 herbs per month, and we go in depth. We go to the foraging, so they get the exact species and how to collect it, when to collect it, its relations, etc., and the different parts of that plant and which you can use. We also talk about the medicinal values, how you can use it and when not to use it, which is equally as important, because oftentimes we go, hey, you can take wild garlic. Well, yes, you can, but there's a few things you can't take it with. So that's really important to know. And then, of course, we have another part of that is loads of recipes, because I believe the most important is to be a hedgerow herbalist. And I think we all have it in us to be a hedgerow herbalist. You know, this is our ancestry, let's be honest, and we're just bringing that back. So yes, I'm a trained master herbalist, so it means that I'm very lucky that I can give you the information, the correct information, not just the armchair Google information, the real correct information of, okay, this is how you use it in this context, and this is going to be good for you. So this is one of the things I do. So my Build Your Herbal Medicine Chest membership is teaching you to be a hedgerow herbalist, basically. A herbalist without the qualifications, in the sense that you can treat your friends and your family and yourself. You know, your health is in your own hands, but you have the right tools and the guidance to be able to do that. That's really important to me. And whatever I teach, I've just done the end of last year, I was just doing my Boost Your Immune System for children and for adults. And that's really important, that, you know we can do a lot of this from what's in our kitchen cupboard, what's growing in the hedgerows, what's in our kitchen cupboard. Know what's around you. Know that, people go, oh yeah, it's an onion, and or it's a garlic, and like, they put it in with onion and they destroy its properties. I'm like, you don't know, this is one of the most immune boosting things that we have in our medicine chest, and it's available in every supermarket. It's the wild version is available coming up right now. We're in springtime. It's just knowing this stuff and giving people the kind of confidence, really, to trust themselves when they have that knowledge. And trust nature, because we're losing, or we certainly are losing that connection with nature. And once we rebuild it, I think that's where true health lies, is in that rebuilding. And you know that.
Oh, no, absolutely 100% on board with that. And, and I'm really inspired with what you're doing, spreading the message, because I know you also have written books on different seasons, which I will put the link on your website. People can read about different seasonal herbs, but also this concept of, yes, we were foragers. We were at some points in our ancestral history, we were actually going out and gathering things, and we still do in the countryside, I have to say, where we live, for instance. But we lost it, and that's part of the connection with nature, and also I find with ourselves as people, and also personal connection to ourselves, our bodies, and the land. But to me, it's fascinating. Your whole journey, your whole biography is like something that you see in movies. So I don't know whether you would be able to share with us how did you even manage to get so interested or intervene with this style of living, because you have a very unique way of living your life, very free, and I would say very authentic and very true to who you are and what you stand for. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about how it all started?
That would be great. Yes. I mean, yes, people do often tell me that, and I'm always surprised, because it's just, when you live your life with passion and purpose, I think it just comes as part of the game. And that's oftentimes what I'm trying to do with patients, is to get them in touch with their passion and purpose, because life becomes extraordinary then. And it ought to be, I think. So, I mean, with my journey with herbal medicine, I mean, in essence, it was in my blood, because from a very early age, I remember with my grandmother, my Welsh grandmother, I'm Pembrokeshire Welsh lass, and from an early age, my grandmother would talk to me in Latin, because she'd be talking to me about the plants, and she'd say, oh, salvia officinalis. So I was hearing this all the time, and like she saw the spark in me. So we learned that she was about propagation. She liked very much her flowers, and I was always interested in that, just equally as my dad was very much interested in astronomy, and I was interested in astrology, and there's a link between the plants and that. So it was quite interesting. It's like, oh, okay, Mars is in Gemini, so we better tell mum it's a good time to do action. So there's this whole link, of these things. So I always loved this link. But in my early 20s, I mean, I had this always in my soul, but in my early 20s, I went to visit a dear friend of mine in Cyprus, and I got taken to this place, which is this old schoolhouse that had been an endemic species of Cyprus place, right? It was set up on European funded money, and in classic Cypriot time, Cypriot style, they just let it go to pot. I mean, that's just what happened, right? So they did. And I put my hand on the old olive tree there. It's a 1,000-year-old olive tree. And literally, it's almost like I had a vision of what could happen in this place. And I saw tables and chairs, and market stalls, and laughter and joy and healing. And I just saw this whole vision. And I was like, I have to do something with this. And I had a botanist friend there, and they said, do you want to do something with this? I'm like, okay. So I gave up my budding nutrition business in the UK, and I came over. to Cyprus, and I started setting about this schoolhouse and fixing this half dead. The front of it, the display area was half dead. You know, they had like a few trees, like gum mastic and things like that, and a lot of oleander. So I dug out a lot of oleander, and then I created this whole propagation area at the back. And I learned from our elders there, the elders of the village, who were teaching me about distilling essential oils and making rose water and how to find the hota, you know, which is the wild herbs and what you use for this. My neighbor, Mrs. Daphne, she'd been stung by a scorpion like 7 or 8 times. She was in her 80s and she goes, "Hey, Gordy, this is the herb that I used." And she showed me it looked like a scorpion's tail. I'm like, wow. And then I learned all about the doctrine of signatures, which is where nature tells you what it's for. And so, and in this herb garden, I mean, it basically grew this place from nothing. It was quite amazing. I mean, I created a whole drying area, which I learned from the villagers how to dry the herbs, drying area, and then created a shop around it. And in order to have the schoolhouse, the village said I had to have a coffee shop, classic Cyprus. You've got to have a coffee shop. Whatever you do, you've got to have a coffee shop, which was great because it meant that I actually, back in the day, I was a bit ahead of my time. I had vegan, raw food, vegan cakes there, and people were coming and having hibiscus lemonade. And it was a very healing place. People would come for workshops and stuff. So that was really, I never realized like how at the time it was just my passion. I knew what I was doing was right. Everything fell into place. The villagers gave me things for the coffee shop and they taught me what have you, you know, it was amazing how it just came to be. And then I started farmers markets from there, and all the villagers then came to sell their produce, and people came all from all island wide. They came to sell their local bread, their vegetables, their fruit. It was just beautiful. And you know, I'm a really like authenticity you mentioned. Yeah, I really am. You know, I would go around the market and say, "Is yours organic? Yes or no?" Because you know, we don't want any chemicals here. No plastic, no chemicals. And you know, it really, I was always this way from young, always believing in, you know, don't pollute the environment, don't pollute your mind. You know, the village kids would come and want to play in the herb garden, and I'd get them to leave their plastic guns on the stone. I said, "Yeah, you can leave them on the stone wall, then you can come in. We're not having this here," you know. And they were like, "Wow, okay." And I'd get them digging and planting and helping me. And yeah, we did a lot for, well, I say me and I mean all the wonderful people that helped me was, yeah, we did a lot for kids there. And you know, it was really great. And so since then, actually, because when I went to Cyprus, I was never a herbalist. Actually, when I started doing that, I then traveled to the UK. This is the crazy bit. I mean, that's not crazy enough. This really is a crazy bit. That I would travel to the UK every month for 5 years to train in herbal medicine, and then come back and put it all into practice, which was quite nice because, you know, my mentors, my herbalist teachers were very much, they say to me, you know, "Caroline, you're a real herbalist because everything you learned, you put straight into practice, you put straight back into the land. You know, you taught people as it came." So yeah, it was quite a journey, and I got quite a few awards from the local government and the national government for my work there, because they were like, "Wow, this is an expat girl who is really like restoring and renovating this beautiful place, magical, but making it a magical place, bringing the energy back into this place, but also being incredibly respectful of the land and the community." And I didn't have any machinery. You know, we were collecting with scythes and we're drying with air, not in the sun. You know, we're really doing things the old school way, distilling with the whole gazani, the old copper still, and you know, doing it the old ways. And yeah, it was really important to me to be authentic in the whole thing. You know, I know that there were government departments that were drying the herbs to get them out there, and that's, you know, they had a, I think so. Yeah, it was for me, it was really important to do that. So yeah, I was very grateful that they recognised that. You know, that actually, that was what I was all about. It was, yeah, it was quite a journey. So yeah, it was quite a journey. So, and then of course, when I did train, I was then able to turn my products that were, say I had black walnut tincture or I had sage tea, I was then able to turn them into a blend, like a parasite blend, or able to turn them into like a lung flush tea, because then I was a trained herbalist. So then I could do that, and then I would see patients on site. So it was so organic the way it worked. It was really quite magical, like how that worked. It was amazing. So that's a big part of my journey.
I just can't believe it. Seriously, it's like so much passion I can hear in your voice. And it's just how it started naturally for you, something that you believed in, something that
Yeah.
you grew up with. I mean, I hear and I see so many young people these days, unfortunately, getting crushed by the system and how lots of things are not how we would want them to be and getting discouraged. And I think for anyone really hearing someone as passionate as you and seeing how your dreams, you just saw a cafe there, you just saw how it could work. You didn't even have education to be a herbalist at that time, and you were still traveling every month to the UK to learn and then to apply it. It's just unbelievable to me. It's like all the dreams can come true. You just have to have that passion and keep on going. And at the same time, you know, you were having lots of joys and fun with it, but you have achieved incredible things like your TEDx talk, which I hope we have a link to share as well, because that is an incredible achievement on its own. I would like to actually know a little bit more about where you're heading off to, because I think you're currently in Somerset and you were in Cyprus and you came originally from Wales. There is a lot of kind of things that you're doing, and I think many people would be very interested to learn what's next, because that's very inspiring, your whole journey.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel very lucky to know of the herbs of the Mediterranean, to have had that wonderful practical experience, and then to the UK to really learn the hedgerows. I mean, yes, I'm born of the UK, but you know, to really learn as an adult, like what grows in the hedgerows, and that's been lovely. That's like you said before, that gave me the chance to produce the books, a family as well. Bless UK for that. But yeah, our next journey now, we're heading over to Canada. And we're going there in the next little while. And yeah, the plan there, the vision and draw I've had there has been, I mean, again, I do things with the vision. I think when you open to the universe, I am your hands, let me work for you. I've been given another vision, and that is that I've been going to Canada, and that's been for the last 15 years. We know, me and my husband, and now my 3 children, we're heading that way. So we're going to the Rocky Mountains, and we are right close to a settlement of the Native American Indians. And so apparently in and work with them, which is amazing. I mean, of course, I want to learn from them, but they also need help because, you know, the massacre, you know, there's lots of stuff that's all gone wrong. Like, you know, like our history of the witch hunt, it's similar. So it's just helping. So we're all helping each other. Again, it's the mycelium. And I've been very much drawn to the Native American Indians for many, many years. And a future is also for my work that will be on a personal level, and then that studies, of course, I always pass on to people. That's what I do, that's who I am. One thing I'm really planning for my next part of the journey, and something I started here in England, is actually I go into schools, and I have been teaching the kids practically, like using my books, how to practically, like, you know, make plantain, use that as a plaster, make calendula oil. You know, I think I've got some here, you know, this type of stuff. And the kids, they love it. They absolutely adore it. And I've been teaching like 10 to 12-year-olds, which is great. I mean, my own children, like my 9-year-old, oh my God, he loves coming in here and making things with me. You know, he's awake and aware children to take the planet to where it needs to go. So one of my real missions, next mission, is to teach the next generation. And I think it's, you know, I'm one of these people that will be bringing this in, because kids are so receptive. There's no filter. Everybody knows that nature heals. Everybody knows that, you know. So it's, children are just, there's no judgment. They're just like, I understand. So yeah, the teaching of children, more online courses, because the more information we can get out there, the better. And working with American Indians, and that's the master plan. That's where we're going next, and probably a few more books in there somewhere. But yeah, just carrying on giving the information out. I'm really looking forward to learning about the herbs of Northern America and Canada, because like there's so many herbs. Like one I've got here, Hydrastis canensis, which is golden seal. We haven't been able to get in the UK for a long time. It doesn't grow. We can't import it because it's been a real lockdown on this herb. But of course, you can get it in America. So it's like, get this whole link of, by the end of it, hopefully by the end of my dying day, we'll know a lot about the herbs of this planet. So I'm very pleased to be so privileged to know this. So more information to pass on. Thank
yes,
you, Olga.
thank you. And it's beautiful, you know, to hear that you are passionate about spreading this message, because I feel that at this time and age, we really need more ambassadors to go out there, to spread the message, to teach the young, as you said. We're really trying to work with the young people straight from once they're born, really. They can get their hands into the soil, doesn't matter if they get dirty, and kind of rewild all of us, or adults, young children. And, you know, and for me, it's interesting that I've started seeing, since I started going out more into nature, living in tune with the seasons, I see that my body is craving different things in different seasons. I don't know whether you have the same, and it's kind of tuning with the move of the sun around the earth and moons and everything else. And it's just, I think, something that if you look around, all animals have, but we've lost. So hopefully this will be one of the solutions. I'm not saying the only one, but one of the very strong, helpful solutions for us all as humanity, and also in helping heal our relationship with the planet, of course. So I'm so grateful to have you here today, and I'm sure we'll have more conversations, because I'm really seeing you, you know, I do hope that you come back to UK and go on stage and keep on spreading your message. I'll be on the front row supporting you, and I hope that our listeners can also support you in every way on your journey, because this is such a encouraging, powerful, courageous journey that you are on, and you are an inspiration for all of us. So thank you for being here. And if you just like to share, as we end today's discussion, where we can find more information about you, how can we follow up with you?
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, but my website is probably the best way to get hold of me, and it's herbals.com. I have, of course, I've got a YouTube channel where we do lots of videos on teaching you about the different herbs that are in the season. Like I posted one about celandine earlier today, and wild garlic, etc. And that is Caroline Evans, Herbalist, on YouTube. But the website, herbals.com, has everything that you need from there. You can find, of course, Facebook, Instagram, all the rest of it. But it's all, go to the website and all the information's there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Caroline. And thank you to our listeners. And we'll tune in later.